So this is my 7 week follow up with working in corrections. So the first week was basically, the traditional hospital orientation. And then the next week after that, we just started working in a jail. So I guess the orientation class before my class, they did not have to start off working weekends in their orientation. We work weekends, but it's not the full weekend. We just work a Saturday and then we're off Sunday. Um, they have us doing 312s, but however, I heard, once we actually, like, I just got signed off on orientation. So I'm actually like on my own now. And I heard like once we're actually on our own, we go to working 4 days a week. But I heard that's supposed to end since we're getting more adequate staffing. But some people before my class and some people that was hired anyway, like months before me, they said they still do like 3 weeks, 3 days on one week and 4 days on the next week. And I'm like, well, that's fine because you get an 84-hour check. So that's a little bit over overtime. So I'm cool with it either way. I don't care. As long as I have somebody to pick up my kids. So it's been 7 weeks. And I actually want to say I've been trying my hardest not to jinx myself, but I do like it so far. I like it a lot. I like it a whole lot. So what typically happens in a day is that, you go in and they have a sheet, a staffing sheet, and you can see where you are assigned to. So it's majority as my role as an LPN, you're basically majority of the time is on a cart. And RNs do more different stuff. RNs are in the dispensary. They are seeing inmates for appointments with the provider, doing nurse visits, doing these things called kites. And I go over that in a little bit. But since I'm just going to tell my role of LPN, so I would typically come in. And as an LPN, you could be on the cart. Some help in the dispensary, but not really. And then it's another part called like telemedicine. And telemedicine is more like, I think everybody's getting more familiar with it. It's more like the little FaceTime or the Skype appointments with the providers. So yeah, we do that with our inmates or whatever. And you just get assigned. So usually I done did in my orientation, I have been on the carts. Of course, I have did telemedicine, which I kind of like because only thing that's no, I really don't have an issue with it either. But like sometimes when like the doctor could be like making the inmate mad, don't forget their asses is on the screen and you're in the room with the inmate. And if they feel some type of way, you just gotta like hoo to the COs or something. But I haven't really had no like actual incident occur where the inmate took the anger out on any, like even the providers or myself. Like, so I've been good in that part, but I heard that shit go down and it has happened. Um, but yeah, so typical day, you get assigned to a cart. Let's just say I'm on a cart. You get assigned to that cart. So you print out your pie sheets because you got to print out your pie sheets so the COs can know who you need to pass meds to. So I'm still new. So I print out the pie sheets for myself and the CO. I mean, even though we are on a computer, we use Epic to do our meds. When I first started orientation, they was still on paper mar, and they was transitioning over to the electronic mar. So I got a little bit of taste of both. Thank God, because that paper mar, let me tell you, when you got to do a changeover for the next month, you have to write all, like, we're passing meds to, on our card holds about 200 patients' names. So imagine your hand cramping up because you got to keep writing on the Mars. Now, since it's electronic, we don't have to do that. We don't have to worry about the paper more anymore. And I'm just really happy as hell about that shit. But yeah, so you will go over you do your list because you have to print it out twice a day. Now, when they did do paper more, they used to just be able to print out one sheet in the morning, and then you can write, they get AM meds and PM meds, and you make copies, and then you give them to wherever pie you go to, you give it to that CO. And if that CO is only there for the morning and then somebody's coming in the afternoon, you just let them know to keep that paper there for the person that's coming in the afternoon. But now we have to print out morning meds, and then when we do our afternoon med pass, we gotta do our afternoon med pass. I work 12 hours, so we get there at 6:45. We have to be clocked in, ready to start our day at 6:45. However, we don't go out to pass our meds until like 8:30. So usually for about hour and a half to 2 hours already there. We're just, making sure our carts together. We're going downstairs getting ice, because the inmates really appreciate that. Because they say they don't ever get no cold water. The only time they get cold water is when they get meds. And we come around twice a fucking day. So what I was saying. So we get our cart together, we print out our pie sheets, we put the little dots to or highlight. Some people do the highlighter. I do dots because I make a copy instead of, because when you try to highlight the paper and then you make the copy of the highlighted paper, the highlight don't come up on that copy. So I make dots next to the name of the inmates that I have to get meds to. And like if I have to do cows and seawoods, I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with that, but we do get a lot of inmates who come in, like sometimes over the weekend. We have frequent flyers. We also have like other inmates who just, get caught up in the situation or something, or get buzzed by the police, and they're intoxicated, or they were drugged up on some type of opiate, or like a drug basically. And for like 4 to 5 days, like if they got arrested and they were like drunk as shit, and they known for having a drinking problem, we put them on a CWA, and that is just like a withdrawal from alcohol. And we got to ask these questions to see, and we also got to like do a quick little assessment to make sure, check their eyes, check their hands, if they're like having tremors or something, ask them about if they're nauseated, or have they thrown up, or did any diarrhea, or any cramping, any like, you have to like do like can you count 1 through 10? If they stumble between 1 through 10, sometimes that's a sign of them going through a breakthrough of the withdrawal of whatever they're taking. So we have to do it because sometimes I guess they was getting dinged because a lot of people wasn't really doing those assessments, and some inmates was actually really about to damn near die. So we have to do those. We have to do blood pressure. Some people come in and they're on a blood pressure precaution, so we have to do our blood pressure. So we try to do all that stuff in the morning, so when we do our afternoon pass, it don't be as much stuff that we have to do. I get it. Some inmates are in court during the time I do morning meds, and I can't do my assessment, so I just put in a note like, patient was at court during AM med pass. We'll try again later to obtain blood pressure, or to obtain the CWA score or the cow score, cow score or the CWA, my bad. And then you do your med pass. My med pass lasts, depending on, I have not had my own assigned cart yet, but recently the med cart I was on the other day, I was actually done with that in like 2 hours. But typically her cart was really light, like for real. But typically you could be there like passing meds for like 3 hours. And the good thing about it don't feel like it's like 3 hours or whatever. But the good thing about it is like you pass these meds and it's like you start at 8, and when you get done it's like 10:30, 11:30 sometimes, and it's like, okay, I can go on lunch at 12, come back at 1 because we get an hour lunch, and then you could just chill out till 1 o'clock or 1:30, chill from like 1 to 1:30 and start getting yourself back set up to go back out for your later pod. So we go to the pharmacy before we do our first AM med pass, and then when we come back from our med pass, like I'll wait till like 10:30, 11:30 to go and see if there's some new meds there, because sometimes they changing inmates from one pod to another pod. Sometimes somebody on another cart got an inmate that you got, or you got an inmate that they need, or something, like you got their meds from an inmate that just got over there to them. So we do a lot of like this, like that, like changing out prescriptions and medications, because you never know who do what. Sometimes they act out. They got to go to the psych floor. So we really communicate with the psych people all the time with their med card, because they're on a whole different floor from the rest of the other med card nurses. What else I want to say? We just do pharmacy. We have to do our KOPs. Some inmates can keep medication on their person. That's what it stands for, keep on person. But it's not nothing big, like no gabapentin or nothing. It's a little shit like ibuprofen, Tylenol, antibiotic, Mobic, stuff like that. Little stuff that they can keep, but you have to keep in mind. You have to keep telling them, no matter how many times you gave them this KOP, you cannot just be like, oh, you know the rules. You still have to go over the rules as if this is their first time. And
everything good.
Oh, that's up. That's what's up.
All my numbers good, except he said I could take a little bit more iron, a little bit more than I was taking. I only take 1 pill a month. I used to take them every day.
Yeah, take 2, but you gotta keep drinking water too, because iron can make you constipated.
He said ain't nowhere near diabetes, which I was scared I was because I'm pissing so much.
No, Daddy, you have to have other signs of.
Okay, well, what? Diabetes. Who are you talking to?
I was doing a video.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss you up? I'm sorry.
No, you good. I was just talking about the jail.
I just did this so I keep my phone charged. You do this. Plug this cord up and keep your phone charged.
Yeah, but that's a thick cord.
What that mean?
That cord too thick. I could use my thing if I need to.
Right on the side of the computer? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. I ain't
old school.
Oh, yeah. What else I want to say? She said you helped me with something. Oh, you doing that? She said you helped me with that headphone, but wouldn't help her. I said, wait a minute.
She never asked me.
She said she asked you, you would help you with the thing she gave me around.
Yeah, she didn't ask me.
I said, well, Candy didn't help me either because you had it, your shit in it, and I couldn't get in no way.
Yeah, tell her I help her. She got it now.
No, no. I'm going to go to the casino since I'm numbers down good.
All right, that's good. Go ahead and celebrate.
Okay, let me see what else I got to. She told me you can season this chicken for her, but otherwise you don't have to.
I'll season it for her since she claimed I don't do nothing.
Wash it off and season it, and she can just cook it when she get here.
Oh, okay. So pretty much, yeah. So the Mad Pass, it makes your day go by fast. So like my 12 hours fly like this. Only time I get bored is when I'm done with the Mad Pass and I don't have nothing to do. Like I do my KOPs. Yeah, but they have to sign up for them. No matter how many times you do the KOP thing with them, you still have to thoroughly tell them. Take the medication and prescribe because they have a little label to tell them how to take like a regular prescription at home. Don't share, don't sell, don't do nothing because once the COs find out that you're doing that, you're going to go to the hole for 1. And for 2, you would never be able to keep no medication on yourself. You always have to come to the desk or the med part when we come. So they sign and then we just charted that they signed it. Then we send it to medical records. It's really pretty much a simple job. If you're on top of your stuff, you can fall back. Like sometimes we have too many fucking meetings. Like I feel like I've been there for 7 weeks and I've done been in like 30 meetings already and then be the same stuff. And that sometimes can hold us back and we're a little bit late, running behind. But other than that, I still think it's a pretty cool job so far. It has been a couple code greens, and once again, if y'all don't remember, code greens is when an inmate try to hang themselves or do hang themselves, but I haven't physically been in one because I'm always in my Mad Pass. But one of the nurses I work with, she's an RN, she was in one. She witnessed one, and she actually like held the inmate while they cut him down, and I heard she did really good. Was worried about her because she was a little kooky during orientation, but I'm glad she did great. She's a sweetheart at that too. But that's pretty much it. It's not a lot to do, but it is a lot to do. You got to be careful with the names. I'm telling you, them last names and some names look the same. Like it was like one guy whose last name was Peoples, and then another guy last name was People, and they both names start with J. Yeah, you got to be careful with stuff like that because some of these people get a lot of meds. Like you need to be in a nursing home. That's how I feel. I feel like for jail, you ain't gonna take them when you get out, but it's for free, so they take advantage of everything. They trying to get their tooth pulled. Some girl trying to get her birth control, her next line taken out. No, we don't do all that now. But we just do what we do. We keep them stable. How they came in, we try to maintain they stable. We don't want them getting any worse. But it's a pretty cool job so far. I just want to say I like it yet to jinx myself. I'm going to just say I'm still in the honeymoon phase. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions or comments, just please put them in the bottom and I'll get back to you. And that's it. Thank you.